Hey folks, here are OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the E06 Sports Bracelet. This is a smart fitness tracker which sells on Amazon for about 35 bucks, so it's not too inexpensive. And what's unique about this is for a generic product that's based in Shenzhen, China, this definitely improves upon previous fitness trackers, pseudo smartwatches we've seen in the past, in the sense that it has a new operating system and also allows you to see a bit more of information and content directly using the OLED screen integrated on the fitness tracker. You can now see things like sleep data as well as information like controlling your music. Those things that previously couldn't be accessed as easily on the band itself can now be on this. Otherwise, the packaging here, you can see some basic info on the back. It uses Bluetooth 4.0 to connect to an Android or iOS smartphone, uses an OLED screen which is very energy efficient and also works outdoors. It's fairly visible. Also features as a smart alarm, and there's a vibration sensor on board as well, so you can get notifications when you get a new call or a text message. It also works as an anti-loss tool, so if you have it linked to a phone and you're out of the 10 meters or 33 feet range, it's going to vibrate and tell you maybe you should search for your phone in the case that someone stole it or you've left it behind. Again, it works as a music remote control. You can also use it to, again, see basic information like your pedometer, the steps, distance you've walked, calories burned, and basic sleep tracking. It still doesn't have more advanced features found on more expensive fitness activity trackers, such as a heart rate monitor or a UV light sensor perhaps for the sunlight. However, at this price point, I think that those features aren't overly necessary, and as far as performance is concerned, the E06 is a step up as far as accuracy as well from the sensors on board. So here is the contents of the packaging. There's a user manual, fully documented in color, tells you how to set things up, install the free app from the Play Store or the iOS Store, and there's a QR code you can scan to learn more info about that. And on the reverse side, which is pretty clever, also features the same instructions documented in Chinese. So as you can see here, this device does use a proprietary charging mechanism as opposed to micro USB. It's also a lot easier than the typical clips that we've seen on fitness trackers in the past. It uses two contact pins, but instead of relying on this bulky and difficult to align clip, you have this slide-in design, which is quite useful. It fits in quite snugly and it fits all the way in with the contacts in place. You can then stick this into a USB drive on a computer or maybe even plug it into the wall and you can start charging it. It works extremely well and it only takes about 2 hours to completely charge. Afterwards, the E06 lasted me roughly 2 to 3 weeks before I need to recharge it again, which is again very impressive for a fitness tracker. Unlike a smartwatch which has a color screen, one of the benefits here is of course you don't need to recharge it every single night. The band itself is a lot smaller than competitors I've seen before as well. You can see really how slim and lightweight it is, which is great because I'm not a huge fan of bulky fitness trackers, and that's one of the reasons why I don't wear a smartwatch on a regular basis is because of that size and extra bulk and heft. Otherwise, the band itself fits really nicely onto the inside, protects the contacts. This is not a waterproof fitness tracker, but it is a sweatproof and a sweat-resistant band, so you can work out with it as well as it can withstand some light rain and will still function and work as advertised. Otherwise, you can see it has an interesting loop design as far as the band itself is concerned, so it actually slides in after you have the right buckle selected for an ultra secure fit. The band is made of this nice silicone material that also is quite stiff and overall makes for a very comfortable and secure fit for both men and women. As far as controlling the fitness tracker is concerned, there isn't a physical mechanical key. It relies on a capacitive control on the very top, which is rather sensitive and allows you to go through the menu with ease. The first thing that you tap on once is to see the time and date information. You can also set it up so it recognizes gestures, such as the flick of a wrist, to bring up the time automatically. It's fairly sensitive and otherwise allows you to then slide on to look at the actual time date information and also the day of the week. Tapping on it again shows the number of steps you've taken. Again, it's very sensitive, so even if you shake it, it's not going to automatically register that as a fake step. So you have to actually physically move. So the sensor on here is a step upwards as far as these Shenzhen fitness trackers are concerned. Once it goes to sleep after a few seconds to save on power, it's going to restart this menu. You can then check out things like calories burned, distance walked. Right now this is the notification, so if you have an incoming call, you can also answer reject it directly and also sees if you have a new message. In this case, we don't. Next, we have a sleep tracker. So if you're wearing this, it's going to use the accelerometer and gravity sensor on board to know if you're kind of sleeping back and forth, you don't really have a great sleep. Then it tells you, the amount of time that you've slept for. It's still not as fully featured as the app that you can see as far as information. You can't see, let's say, a number of hours that you've wasted, maybe from deep sleep versus light sleep. sleep, but at least you can get a very quick glimpse of how many hours and how many minutes you have slept. So that's a nice piece of information that you can see here. Tapping on again brings you back to the main UI. So overall, pretty easy to use system and setup. And if you want to access some more features, I can tap on a specific the key here for a few seconds to access the menu here. That takes me into things like automatically starting the sleep tracking function. You don't have to do this. You can just directly go to sleep and it will still work, but this adds some extra accuracy if you want to tap on this to tell the fitness tracker you are now going to sleep. Tapping on this goes into the actual music player, so it also goes through the settings here. So if I wanted to listen to music, let's say I tap on this for a few seconds, and now I have playback controls directly on the fitness tracker. I can pause my music, skip tracks, go back. All of these work very well, and I can control my music a bit more easily if my phone is in my pocket. Otherwise, this is the selfie remote functionality. I can tap on that to use this as a selfie remote. Great for capturing videos as well if you have your phone set up on a tripod. Over here we have the Find My Phone functionality, so the phone will vibrate and buzz if you've lost it, and you can still use your band to locate it. This is for contrast, for vibration settings, for power on-off settings for the screen, also for going back into the main menu. So overall, this is definitely improved upon and features a few other extras I really didn't see from previous fitness trackers produced out of Shenzhen, China. So next we're going to show you guys how the application works, how the fitness tracker links up to the app, and the accuracy of the app engine. So taking a quick look at the app, which is called the Power Sensor. If you tap on this, you can install this through the iOS or Android store, and then it quickly syncs up to the band after you have Bluetooth turned on. The first time that you log in, it also tells you to create an account, set a password, as well as enter personal information like your gender, as well as your weight and height. And it uses these things in addition to the step length that you enter to calibrate the band and make it a bit more precise. And all in all, it is a fairly precise fitness tracker, which is to say that whenever you move and step, if you kind of shake it, it doesn't accidentally trigger or say that it's a step. You have to actually physically take a step for it to register. So it seems to be pretty accurate in that sense. The interface here is quite clean and simple. Things are easy to navigate. If I slide to the right, it shows me my sleep data. So you can see that my sleep data in terms of the awake time, extremely light sleep, as well as my light sleep and deep sleep patterns all labeled in different colors, and that works very well. So it's very intuitive. It's not the most in-depth app that I've ever seen for a fitness tracker, but all in all, very easy to understand. The top here also shows you the connection status. So using Bluetooth, how far away you are from the band, and so that once it's disconnected, you can also set it up so that it vibrates to tell you, oh, maybe you've lost your phone, or if you've lost your fitness tracker, you should go and search for it. So other things that you can really go and change, including your profile settings, creating an image, as well as go through different activities that you've done about your device, finding the device so that the device itself will vibrate. So if it's linked to a keychain or something, you can find it a bit more easily, and also go through different days, such as yesterday, today, and go through a calendar of your fitness activity. So all in all, a pretty easy to use and attractive user interface. If I want to access a few other features on here, for instance, like the camera function, I can open that up and of course use this as the selfie stick almost, or the selfie remote. So I can tap on this for a few seconds again to go through the functions, launch into the camera function, and then of course whenever I tap on this, it's going to take an image on the phone. So it acts as the remote. Pretty good feature if you want to use it as a selfie remote. Maybe if you're limited, want to capture an image with all your friends in it, and you don't want a hand or an arm in the way, this is a good application of that. Of course, you can also use this as an MP3 player controller for changing the tracks, and so on and so forth. And the app all integrates this into this one place, which is nice to see. So at the end of the day, I have to say that this is actually a pretty good fitness tracker just because it's small, battery life is strong, and it has, again, this fairly complex many-user interface that is attractive, but at the same time displays more information than past generations I've checked out. The OLED screen is nice and vibrant, it's easy to read, and the band itself is comfortable, and the price point here is also fair. So you can check out more details about this in our official written review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS.